How's your child with graphs and tables? To continue to have your child's mind working throughout the summer, here's some math review questions containing just that.
It's like every day.
The first chart or graph is about cars in a parking lot. So let's take a look. The bar graph shows the numbers and colors of cars in a parking lot. So here you have the graph, and here are the things to notice. You have the title, cars in a parking lot. Then the vertical side going up, the numbers are always on this side. So here you have the title on this side, which is the number of cars, and then across the bottom or horizontally you have the color. So we have red, white, silver, blue and black. Let's take a look at the question. So the total number of silver and black cars equals the total number of red, white and blue cars. How many black cars are in the parking lot? All right, so let's underline that question first, right? So they're asking about how many black cars, which is here, right? So they got the question mark there. So then let's go back and mark it up. And I always say to my students, mark it up, because that's going to help you every time you look back at the chart. Instead of looking back at the chart every minute to see what the numbers are, let's just put the numbers at the top of each bar, right? So the first bar, red, so that goes up to 4. So we're going to put a 4 on top of that. The white, you have 8 at the side, you have a missing number, and then you have 10. So this has to be 9, right? So we're going to put a 9 here. And then for silver, this bar goes up to 6, so we're going to put a 6 here. And the blue bar goes up to 2, right? So that way you make it visual, right? So it's easier for you to go back and have a look at it. Okay, so let's go back to the question again, just to make sure. Let's look at the choices first, actually. So we have 9, 10, 15, or 30. Okay, so the total number of silver and black cars, right? So the total number of silver and black equal the total number of red, white, and blue. All right, so silver and black, right? But first, if it equals the total number of red, white, and blue, we have to add the red, white, and blue. So let's look. So red is 4. Oh, let's do it on this side, sorry. Red is 4, white is 9, and blue is 2. Okay, so let's add that up. 9 plus 4 is 13, and 2 is 15. So red, white, and blue, there's 15 of those in the parking lot. And then they give us the silver as 6, but they don't give us the black, right? So then what we have to do, if the silver is 6, then we have to subtract the silver from this total. Okay, so here we're going to say 15, because that's the total of the 3 colors there, and then we're going to minus the silver to get the black, right? So you subtract what you know to get what you don't know. We don't know what the black is. So 15 minus 6, and that is going to give you a 9. You count from 6 up to 15, and that will give you a 9. So when we look at our choices over here, we can clearly see then that the answer is A. Here is another chart, bar graph, that's talking about number of shirts in each color at a store, right? So the graph below, you're always going to get an introduction first and then the question. So the graph below shows the number of shirts of each color in a store. All right, so let's look at it. So here we have the color of shirts, the title, and then at the side here, the numbers are always at the side vertically, and that's the number of shirts. And then the title here for this horizontal bottom here at the bottom is color, right? So you got blue, red, purple, green, and yellow. Let's read the question. How many more red shirts than the total number of blue shirts and yellow shirts are in the store? Okay, so here we have the shirts. Once again, we're going to put the numbers on, okay, so that we're not constantly looking back to see what the numbers are. All right, so it will just be there visually for you, so make it nice and visual. So we got a 5 for the blue, the bar for the red's going up to 45, the bar for the purple is 15, the bar for the green is capping off at 30, and the bar for the yellow stops at 25. All right, so every time you look back, they're all there for you. Okay, so now our choices are 15, 30, 40, or 45. So how many more? Now we know that that is subtraction. How many more? How much more? How much fewer? How much less? That's always subtraction for that. Now, how many more red shirts than the total number of blue and yellow? So red is 45. So let's put red here. How many red shirts, right? And then let's put blue and yellow here. Okay, so you know, you keep it all in order so you can keep an eye on what's happening. So you know you're going to be subtracting at some point. So red shirts is 45 and blue and yellow. So blue is 5 and yellow is 25. So we're going to add the 25 yellow shirts and the 5 blue shirts. 5 and 5 is 10. Oh, paper stop moving. And 2 and 1 is 3. So that's a total of 30. So the blue and yellow is 30 shirts. And then the red is 45. Now, how many more red shirts than the total of blue and yellow? So that's where the subtraction comes in. So we subtract the 30 from the 45. 5 take away nothing still gives us the 5. 4 take away 3 is 1. So that gives us 15. Let's look at our choices. And the answer is A. Here is a table, and you can see that this table has 2 columns. So here we have the starting number and rounded to the nearest 100. So we have some rounding to do for this question. So let's have a read. The table below, right here, shows 4 numbers rounded to the nearest hundreds place. One of the numbers is rounded incorrectly. All right, so one of these answers is wrong. Which number is rounded to the nearest hundreds place incorrectly? So these numbers here for the choices are the starting numbers that are in the table. So when you round to the nearest 100, your hundreds place, these numbers go up to thousands, right? So you have ones coming from the right. You have ones, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. Okay, so your hundreds place then is here. So whenever it says round to the place, that's the number that you have to look for, the place value. And when you round to the nearest 100, your answers end in 2 zeros because there are 2 zeros in the number 100, right? So let's have a look. So the starting number, in the number 1212, the tens place is a 2. So then you are looking at the number after that. I'm sorry, the hundreds place is a 2. So you're looking at the number after that in the tens place to see if it is 5 or above. Now there's a saying, 5 or above, give it a shove. So the tens place here is a 1, so it's not 5 or above. So this 2 stays the same, which would give the answer as 1, 2, 0, 0. So remember I said all your answers end in a 0. So we can see they all end in 2 zeros, but it's the hundreds place that we're looking to see if it's shoved or not, right? So this answer is 1200. So we have 1,200 there. So that one's fine. That's not incorrect. The second one, we have 2,396. So the hundreds place, because we're rounding to the nearest 100, is 3. Then we're looking at the tens place to see if it's 5 or above. And yes, it is, right? It's 5 or above because it's a 9. So we give it a shove. We give the hundreds place a shove to a 4. So this should be 2400. See, it's still a 3. So far, this is incorrect. But just to make sure, let's do the rest. 3,636. The hundreds place is the 6. Then we're looking at the tens place to see if it's 5 or above. Is it? No, because it's a 3. So then the 6 stays the same. It doesn't go down, it stays the same. So that would give us 3,600. So that's fine. And just to make sure, let's look at the last one, 5,573. So we're looking at the hundreds place, which is a 5. Then we're going to look at the 7 and see, is it 5 or above? Yes, it is. So then the hundreds place, give it a shove. The it is the hundreds place, give it a shove to a 6. So that's going to be 5600. Okay, so we can clearly see the incorrect one is B.
There's so many math concepts that can be represented in a table or a graph. When there's math information in a table, always look for the topic, what's been measured, and how it's been measured. I hope this video helped. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another math video. Thank you for watching. Class dismissed.